Tasmad Agni Samidho Yasya Surya. From that fuel of the sun, the Virat Purusha created a fire. And from the sun of the fire, which is called the Soma, the Chandra, Soma is Chandra or the moon, Parjanya was born. Parjanya is the rain. According to Indian astronomy, Chandra is Jalamaya. Chandra is full of water, and it is from that light of Soma the rains come. So Chandra is Jalamaya, and modern astrophysics also is saying now, just 1 or 2 years only they have understood that the moon contains lot of water. But right from the Vedic days, India has been saying Chandra is Jalamaya. So Parjanya was born from the Soma, and from that, in the Prithvi, in the earth, Aushadhi, herbs and plants were born. Aushadhi, Vanaspati were born. Then the living things were born. And from those Jiva, which were in the race of the men, the Retas or semen fell into the race of the women, and thus from the Akshara Purusha or the Vishnu, the manifold children, the manifold races were born on this earth. That is said in this Sukta 5. Fire is the special form of Praja state, the offspring state, since the dark unmanifested Diloka is manifested by light of the sun for the earth and its creatures. Sun is called the fuel or the source of energy that creates Agni or fire for the earth. From the manifested Diloka was born Soma, the moon, as well as the water with taste or rasa, and the clouds carrying water as the Parjanya. This is the second fire. From this second fire, in the third fire, that is the earth, the food or annam, that is the plant life, was created. The earth is therefore the Agni, the fire or energy source of the living beings. So, the energy source of the earth is the sun and the moon. The energy source of all the living beings on earth is earth itself. From the food or anna, the semen in men and the shonita or egg in women were formed. Our cells, including our generative power, was formed from the food which we take, that is from the annam we take. The fourth fire is thus the retas or semen, and it uniting with the fifth fire, the egg. New races were created out of the couples. Before that everything was a Maithuna Srishti, and when two races, the men and women, were formed, from that the Maithuna Srishti started. All karma sadhana and karma phala thus originated from Vishnu as the Virat Purusha. Rik, Yajus, Sama, Diksha, Yakna, Kratu, Dakshina, Samvatsara, Yajamana were purified by Soma, and all the worlds where sunshines were revealed from him. Rigveda with the great mantra like Gayatri, having a fixed end of Aksharapada, Samaveda with the great Stobhas and the Gita, divided first into 5, that is the Himkara, Prastava, Udgita, Pratihara and Nidhana, and then adding 2 to 7, Upadrava and Adi. Yajurveda as the Vakya or sentences without any fixed Aksharapada in the end. Thus 3 types of mantra originated from Vishnu itself. It is noteworthy that Atharva is not mentioned here, though the Mundaka is an accepted text of the Atharva Veda, because it was from Atharva Veda that all the other 3 Vedas started. That is why that name is not mentioned here in this hymn. The Diksha to be done with the sign of Pavitra, that is with a munja grass, Yakna like Agnihotra, the Kratu observed with and without a Yupa. Yupa is a Dhvajastamba. Dakshina starting from giving a cow to giving everything that one possesses, as the Mahabali did. Samvatsara and the time of calculations as the organs of karma. duties to be done in each time, season, etc. The Yajamana as the doer. The worlds attained by all these karma, this world of human beings where the sun shines and the moon purifies with water, all were born from Vishnu, in Vishnu, and merge in Vishnu. About our world of existence, Shankara in his Bhashya says, that which is traversed through the two paths of Uttarayana and Dakshinayana, that which is the result of karma done by both the Vidwan and the Avidwan, both the scholars and the ignorant person's karma, and that is purified by the moon, the Chandravanshi, and revealed and shown by the sun, the Suryavanshi. Mundaka Khanda 1, Sloka 2 to 5 said, one has to perform yajna in the suitable period of time. The same Khanda, Sloka 7, spoke about the 18 yajna rupa, consisting of Yajamana, his wife, Adhiryu, Udgata, etc. Jyotishi or astronomer is one among these 18 people. Jyotishi is the one who calculates the time, the seasons, observes the sun, moon and all the other celestial objects and their movements. His synonym is Samvatsara, the time or Kala, with Karmanga, like the year. Year is the Samvatsara, is equated with Yamadharma. When time was born as the fourth dimension, the Samvatsara as the observer and experimenter of it, he is called the Kala, the Yama, the Dharma, was also born with it. What Varahamihira says in his Brihat Samhita about this Samvatsara, we will examine here. This is in the second chapter of his work, titled Samvatsara Sutra in Brihat Samhita. An egg shining and full of energy and capable of creating entire universe was created in the causal waters of Karanajala, of the tamas or darkness. In it, the two kala called the kham and the bhumi were formed. The ocean of energy, the tejo rashi, the sun revealed as an eye. Then Samvatsara was born, in whose mind Samvatsara, the year, is born. For the first time, he is the Samvatsara. He is dressed in a simple attire, pleasing to look at, truthful in words, without envy, with healthy joints and undeformed, beautiful hands, feet, nails, eyes, hair and teeth, ears, forehead, brows and head in a symmetrical, healthy body. He has a deep and pleasing voice. The other Lakshana of Samvatsara are his qualities, his beauty, expertise, intellect, his Vagmitva, that is the oratory, the Pratibha or genius, the knowledge of time-space, very important, the knowledge of time-space, Sattvika Guna, the experience and the wisdom, the fearlessness in assemblies and freedom from any sorrow. He will have knowledge of Shantika, Paushtika, Abhichara and Snana Vidyas. He will be interested in worshipping great people and in vratas and upavasas. The mark of Samvatsara is his or her wisdom and knowledge in expounding free and original methods of calculation, mathematical functions, which creates wonder in the hearts of all. How this man does all these calculations, these mathematical functions, that type of a wonder is created in the hearts of the onlookers, and that person will destroy the several types of ills just by his or her presence, and will be well versed in the three skandha of Hora, Samhita and Tantra. He will know the parts of time and space, the Kala and the Kshetra, as described in the 5 ancient Siddhanta, the Panchasiddhantika of astronomy. In the time with Prabhava and Vibhava, etc., there are 12 yuga. In each yuga there are 5 years. The 60 years is a unit. The lots of these 60 years of yuga, varsha, month, day, hora, etc. are there. The Samvatsara, knowing them, sacrifices his affinity to all these and become beyond time-space. He is able to expound the similarities, differences and the Ayanabheda in different theories, and able to neutralize the differences in different theories by his own techniques of Samamandala Rekha, the line of equal mandala or central geodesic. Acharya Vishnugupta said, a person, if he decides to cross the ocean, does it easily with knowing the direction of moving winds. Even to think of approaching the great ocean of Kala Purusha is impossible for a person who is not a rishi. The word of the person who has fixed in heart the science with Bhagana. Bhagana is the group of shining objects in celestial figures and spheres. That person, the word of that person who has fixed his heart in the science with the Bhagana, written in the Pratna as spreading sunlight all over the world, will never become futile. His word will never become futile. He has been blessed by the Vagdevi, the Saraswati. The Daivatna Purusha employs a Pradipurusha for doing his worldly affairs, a delegation of power or a secretary-like job to others. Thus, not wasting his or her time involving any other affairs of the mundane world. He doesn't get involved in cooking or any other thing like that. He doesn't have time to waste like that. He does mental analysis, reflection of the science continuously. Manana, Dhyana, Nididhyasana are the only things that he does every moment. Since a single person cannot do observation day and night continuously, they employ 4 disciples. These 4 disciples take up the observations in turn in the different directions. The first observes east and Agnigon. The second disciple observes the south and Nairudikon. The third, the west and the Vayugon, that is the northwest. And the fourth, the north and the Ishanagon, northeast. By this continuous observation of the 8 directions, by 4 people camped in each of these 4 places, the subtle phenomena like comets, meteors. Utkapada is the word used in Sanskrit. Comets and meteors, when they fall, all these are observed and collected as data, and these 4 people give it to the Guru, and the 5 people together discuss it and make the final decision. That is how it was done in ancient days. Garga says that a person who has such nishtha in Hora Ganida is expert in the organs and sub-organs, that is branches and sub-branches of the Veda and Vedanga. If there is no Samvatsara, there is no organs of the Samvatsara like the Tithi, Nakshatra, Rutu, Ayana, etc. Therefore, if one knows Samvatsara, one knows all its organs and its branches too. At the same time, there is an organless, timeless, eternal time. And the knowledge of the organ and form is leading to that eternal time. The Samvatsara knows that very well. Therefore, a true Samvatsara or knower of the time-space is non-attached, desireless, sorrowless, usually lives in lonely places on hilltops, probably in a forest, in a hilltop, observing the various celestial bodies, its relations to earth, and the mathematical rules of them. He knows both the movement and the momentless states of the universe, and the lights he observes, Sayana and Nirayana, thus knowing both the movement, that is the kinetic, and the inertia, the Nirayana, Sayana and Nirayana. He is the greatest rishi. If such a good Samvatsara does not exist in a place, that place is to be discarded as not good for habitation, says Varahamihira. Samvatsarigan, he is the Chakshur Bhuda of this universe. He is the eye of the universe. Samvatsariga, or the person who knows astrophysics, is the eye of the universe. The place where he sits is devoid of impurities. There is no experience of hell for Samvatsariga. Everything is heaven for him. He is thinking only about the Deva. Deva means, this Deva, when translated in English, is God. But Deva in Sanskrit means, he is thinking only about Deva, means he is thinking only about the enlightened, the shining ones, that is the energy ones. He is getting his fixity in the shining worlds. In the shining world means the energy worlds of the Brahmaloka. Which Dvija, Dvija is the twice born, knows this difficult subject according to the ancient texts and with its meanings, he naturally becomes the Agrabhuk, the Shraddha Pujita, and the Pankti Pavana, all are the synonyms of fire, Agni. This is the race of the Agni. So there is a solar race or Suryavamshi, there is a Chandravamshi, the lunar race, and also an Agni Pankti Pavana, an Agni Vansha, who is a Samvalsariga. Even if a Mlecha or Yavana know the science, they become worshipable rishis, says Varahamihira. The Daivavit, that is one who knows the shining divine world of energy, who is blissful and satisfied in this mission of wisdom, does not respond even if he hear insulting words. This is what you mean by the Apashudradhikarana in the Brahma Sutra Bhashya, which I have already discussed in Brahma Sindhu. We don't, only the people who are thinking about the mundane things get worried about what other people say, how they insult us, how they give us praise, etc. A person who is always all the time involved with and satisfied in the mission of wisdom, who is always in the lookout for the energy worlds, that person doesn't have time for such things. So he, even though born as a Shudra, even though all are born as a Shudra, the person who is always involved in acquiring wisdom, the wise person gets out of that Shudra behavior, goes beyond the limits of the earth. That is the Brahmana. Thus, Varahamihira describes an astronomer as a Rishi. The Samvatsaran as Jyotishastrajna is a Rishi, the seer with all the signs of a Brahmagnani according to this definition. And we know Atharva Veda is dealing with astronomy along with other subjects like medicine. So this thing is very important for study of Atharva Veda.